Howdy, welcome to the breakdown for Chris Duncan versus Slava Borshchev in the lightweight division. Very interesting matchup, more interesting than the matchup of Chris Duncan versus Manuel Gacha, which fell out about 2 weeks ago. Gacha missed weight, and then they ended up having to reschedule that. They're not rescheduling for Manuel Gacha, so like I said, I feel like I don't know if I've said this before, but you miss those opportunities, and like you basically show that to Dana White that you don't want that opportunity, that you don't really care for it, because like even if you're missing weight, you'll still show up to fight, you'll still take that opportunity. And you see that Manuel Gacha passed up on that opportunity, and I'm sure Dana White was like, nah, I'm not going to give you another chance. But we gave Chris Duncan another chance here. So we run down Chris Duncan. He had a great interview with John Coe. If you know, John Coe does a lot of interviews with a lot of fighters, and the one blemish on uh, Chris Duncan's record is in his amateur career, and you see at that bout, Chris Duncan, not the biggest guy, 5'10", 5'11", lightweight's a good weight class for him, but his opponent fell out in that fight, and he had to fight at a catch weight of 187 pounds. So he fought a middleweight, like for him being a lightweight. So that loss, I don't really pay attention to it. He lost the decision as well, so it wasn't like he was getting destroyed. But you're fighting a middleweight and you're a lightweight. A lot of things can go wrong. So he very well be 15-0. Mentions having a K1 background, so his striking is really good. Also has a very underrated ground game in my opinion, although you don't really see it because Chris Duncan is a very pressure-heavy striker and he has a lot of power, right? Throws his punches very well. He throws them in combinations very well. He has a very heavy leg kick, which he likes to set up with his body kick. You'll see him set up that body kick a lot. The thing is, I really like about Borshchev is that he also has a very good background. I think K1 world champion. I think the thing is with Borshchev is that against a fighter like Chris Duncan, Borshchev, that loss on his record, that was a split decision. He was robbed. He won that fight easily, 29-28. And William Starks in that fight against Slava Borshchev was trying to aim for takedowns. Couldn't even keep Slava on the feet, and William Stark is a very good wrestler. So Slava Borshchev, I don't think he's at risk of getting taken down here by Chris Duncan. Not that Chris Duncan is not a good grappler. I think that Chris Duncan, which maybe he'll try if he gets uncomfortable on the feet, but he won't be successful against Slava Borshchev. They're going to be on the feet. Slava Borshchev likes to fight at range. Sometimes he'll come in the pocket, throw a couple combinations, and then he'll back up at range, and then has a very feint-heavy game. You'll see him feint a lot, maybe dip his head. But yeah, I think he doesn't have crazy power, which I think is what's going to be the difference maker here, right? Slava Borshchev is going to want to fight at range, pick apart Chris Duncan, and Chris Duncan's not going to allow that. Chris Duncan's going to push forward, and he has way more power in Slava Borshchev, in my opinion. I think Chris Duncan is going to put out Slava Borshchev, I would say maybe in the second round. Now, I feel like I'm overriding Slava Borshchev. Slava Borshchev is a very good underdog here. I just think that he's not the biggest finisher, right? And the people that he's finishing, you look at their records and they're getting finished faster by other people who have basically losing records, so it's questionable, right? You should be finishing these guys in the first round, as disrespectful as it sounds to these other fighters, but I just think Chris Duncan's on a different level. I think he should be undefeated at this point, right? That middleweight bout doesn't really count. Has that background, is also working on his wrestling, so you don't know what kind of leaps and bounds he'll perform from, since then. And he's also have great experience in Bellator, right? Fought, I believe, 3 times in Bellator, so Slava Borshchev, he's good. I think he has an opportunity to win here. If he does it by decision, I don't think he's finishing Chris Duncan, right? If he finishes Chris Duncan, I don't know what to say, right? But I'll take Chris Duncan by finish. If you like the Slava Borshchev dog pick, take him by decision. And also, check out John Coe's interview with Chris Duncan. It's a very informational video. It'll tell you a lot about Chris Duncan and his mindset. Maybe it'll sway you that way. Not that I'm trying to lead you towards Chris Duncan, but it's a great interview and it'll tell you a lot of things. I'll take Chris Duncan, KO, TKO, second round. That'll be all. Peace.